I forgot the rest of the words.
I'll say, I don't think this water's doing much good for Kazooie's vocal cords. Welcome, everybody, and by the way, I am, whenever I'm in these underwater segments like this, I'm always going to go in first-person mode, because that's just something I took from
It's a lot easier to control yourself in first-person mode underwater.
And it's also so much smoother, because it doesn't have to render everything, so there's the slowdown is, like, minimal.
The only problem is you have a smaller depth of field.
True. But yeah, welcome back at last
to Banjo-Tooie. So, just to recite to y'all real quick, as of this recording, we've done our Banjo Spotlight, we've had another Smash DLC character after Banjo, and we're just
and from tomorrow!
Now it's 2020.
Yeah. Because, you know, we have no shame in hammering in just how long overdue this commentary is.
Well, again, if anybody's ever asked, it's always a matter of, first, other big things happen, like Odyssey's commentary we finally got around to.
So wait, what did we learn there?
Oh, we learned Kazooie's torpedo move.
Oh, right! The one that I can never get to work properly.
Yes, and that... No worries. And that's the big one that we need to know, because that will allow us to break Kazooie boulders, which technically is the thing we need to progress the game. But I'm gonna go for some more jiggies around here, because the less jiggies I have to get from HAG Industries, the better.
Honestly, I'm surprised that move in particular is something you learn in the underwater level, considering I don't think you... I mean... Oh, wait a minute. Never mind. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, Kazooie Torpedo.
I hate this fucking maneuver.
It's very finicky, so that's why I'm going to go into first-person view, because again, you can control so much nicer.
I was also thinking of Kazooie, of the upgraded ground pound move that you get.
I also noticed that there is, like, for some reason when Kazooie is in her torpedo formation, for some reason she just gains scales like a fish.
I guess so. Oh, and for those who've noticed, yes, Seely is not joining us for this part. I'm still, again, very open to having her in future parts. Just, again, it's just imagine a Venn diagram, and what happens is it's a matter of it's very tricky for that Venn diagram to have everybody match up on a particular day. Yeah. Hence why this commentary has taken us a while to get back to with other projects.
Alas.
And now we already saw.
One of the best transformations of the game, in my opinion.
The good news is that for now, this is the last Banjo-Kazooie. Maybe his we can talk about this. Maybe his inclusion in Smash will hopefully revitalize something to give us something cool that James can take from me.
I mean, hey, it was able to sell some Xboxes in Japan.
That's true. The first time ever.
To think, Banjo-Kazooie getting in Smash helps the Xbox in.
Well, hey, it helped. It helped too that Sakurai quite clearly said you could play the epic Banjo-Kazooie duo on an Xbox One, and that's all it took for it to trend on Twitter in Japan.
Now, if I remember correctly, those runes on top of that doorway you have to memorize. You have to memorize them.
You have to memorize them, and because they're random, and hit the pot. So it's Omega, Pi, Delta, Sigma, Pi, Delta.
I thought you had to use the eggs.
You can use the eggs, or you can use this if you don't want it. If you're cheap like me. Back to you, James.
Wait a freaking minute. Are those those mermaid statues? Isn't that the same freaking mermaid from Donkey Kong 64?
I was about to say it looks very fucking familiar.
Oh, I was gonna say it looked like the model of the girl with the large melons in Banjo-Kazooie's credits.
Nah, she had short hair.
Yeah.
And melons.
Yeah, I guess it is.
And I just realized that the other difference is that this mermaid isn't wearing a pearl necklace.
Ugh, I hate these sea anemone things.
Yeah, you can shoot it, but yeah. So I'm being the torpedo mainly because this gives me literally infinite ammo. And if you use his sonar, which I just did, it freezes the octopus.
Why?
I have no other idea of why I would use the sonar, but it's neat. Hey, a Jinjo chest.
That's like the weird violation of logic that, you know, you don't... I don't even know what I'm saying right now.
I just realized the fish don't move out of the way when you get close to them.
No.
Can you believe how untechnological this game is?
It's so inferior compared to the majesty of Mario 64.
I'm trying my best to keep the editing so you guys can see. I'm trying to keep the editing so you guys can see, but yes, I don't know. Yes, this particular world is very easy to get turned around in.
It's very easy to get lost underwater.
Davy Jones' locker.
There it is. Break it
What's
open.
Open it up.
What does the D stand for?
Okay, get the jiggy, because I know there's one in there.
Dick Johnson. Where's the jiggy?
Now here's the
Wait,
thing.
uh-oh.
You could go into the sequence, you know, untransformed if you want.
Yes, but again, I'm gonna do this because I don't have to worry about an egg count.
Oh, I know this guy.
Hey, I know this guy. It's Lord Wolfak.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Why did they call this? Was there a
What?
reason why they?
Who dares intrude on Lord Wolfak while he sleeps in this appallingly
Oh, that's right, because
cramped
James is.
locker?
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
James is Banjo.
we just brought some mail for you, Lord Fuck.
Don't lie to me! You were going to steal my chickie and train my home, leaving me to flap pathetically around the bottom until I shriveled up and died, weren't you? Like that? Then a watery grave awaits you!
Okay, so I just looked up the. I had to know because I just looked up the trivia of this. So apparently, by the way, shoot its weird glowing pustule things,
There's that.
which will explode
Also,
with
if I could
blood
just-
because it's a children's
If I could
game.
just disclose something real quick, at the time of us recording this, it's been a good while since we've had Icky in a video, and his bit of theatrics remind me why it's so much fun having him on board.
I love you guys too.
Yeah, don't worry. Okay, so you just get pushed away, so no damage, but just avoid his attacks and whenever you get a chance to. He's very big, and oh geez, there we go.
There's the blood pustules. Me precious boils!
That's what I like to hear. Anyway, so I just looked it up. I've learned now. Nice.
that's blood.
I've learned. Yeah. Remember for kids. So I've now looked up why he's called this. Nice. So his name was inspired by Paul Machacek, I think is how it's pronounced, Machacek.
What?
An engineer at Rare who developed a reputation around at work for his colorful language.
Back off.
Apparently, whenever he encountered problems during development of any Rare games, he would frequently swear and swear.
Oh, that's
a ton,
right.
And before finally exclaiming "woo" when it was done. So it'd be like "fack, fack, 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 woo," and so that's why they called him Lord Woo Fack Fack.
If I could just interrupt for a quick moment. I just
ahead.
noticed you got hit by the guy and you didn't take any damage. Are you technically invincible in the submarine form?
If I touch him physically, and I think it's the same for Banjo, it's only his lightning attacks that can deal damage to me.
Really?
Or maybe I do just have more defense as the.
Doink!
Hello.
Woo! Have you no sympathy? Hitting a poor blind fish? Time I opened my eyes to see what I'm doing!
Yeah,
I
now we
became
gotta
Willis
hit
to
him in the
begin with.
eyes. So yeah, now we just gotta shoot him in the eyes 6 more
Double
times.
Yep. 3 for each eye.
Okay.
Oh,
There we go. Oh, oh, hang
He
on.
ate you.
grrr, please, not my eyes!
Well,
Time
hey,
move.
you asked for it.
On the move to avoid that lightning attack. Which, all it is it's a lightning orb that I'm moving out of the way so you
You
guys
know-
don't see it. And I'm still...
I'm not gonna lie, I know you said you have it this way for the sake of making it easier to control,
Whoa.
but honestly, it looks really cumbersome having to swim around in first person while dealing with this guy.
It's tricky because of... Okay, because I've already said it. It's tricky because of the emulator I'm using in order to do this. It always defaults the cursor to the center of the screen when you're turning around like this.
Oh, it does that in the original game as well. It doesn't matter.
Oh, then I just... Oh, okay, so I've just outed myself for no reason.
Ugh.
So no, okay. I can't... I don't have the means to... That's the problem when you move to...
Oh,
that's
so
the
you can't
problem when
get
you move to That's the problem when you move to HD. Ow!
Ow.
I need to move out of the way faster. For those who have motion sickness, I apologize. This is what happens when you move to HD recording, is I can no longer record my N64, and I don't want to get the rare replay collection.
And he's down.
He's going belly up.
Ah,
Yeah, he gets to blink.
Hey, he's still alive.
curses! Things seem to have gone belly up. 100 years of oceanic tyranny brought to an undignified end.
He's totally still alive, though.
No, he's
We'll just
dead.
take that. He's just floating
And
about.
he
He's
was
still
just talking, yeah.
He's just sleeping.
I just saw him
He's
blink.
sleep talking. Sleep.
Okay, whatever. We got our jiggy. Let's leave.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh,
Whoa,
jeez.
whoa, whoa,
What
what
the-
Do you know who I am?
It's because I touched his phone.
Again,
Well,
Get out of my house!
again, that's why I brought up the fact that it seems really cumbersome to do it in first person.
It's tricky, like, it depends, but again, I guess it's up to you. Anyway, we're gonna go down here for an optional minigame, because why not? I'm a sub.
I think I only now realize how fucked up that sequence was, though.
Got down here at last,
Yeah.
eh? How about trying my little shooting challenge?
I keep forgetting that she doesn't rhyme anymore.
I know, and it's so heartbreaking every time I'm reminded of it.
Eh,
It was so fun, I liked her rhyme.
it's easier for the writers.
Well, I was about to say, it was just more so an instance where it's like, when I read the dialogue out loud, it's like, wait, that didn't rhyme. Oh, wait, she forgot that.
Yeah, her sister told her it was annoying, so she had to stop.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's easier for the writers.
And once again, it's the typical minigame lore. Blue is best.
Easier for us, I say.
Honestly, just...
By the way, she's relying on the idea that we simply run into the mines. We could just stay in place and shoot
I
at
was
them.
gonna say.
Yep, and that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm going.
It's like, what, you're
around
fucking
like
stupid?
mad.
You know, in hindsight, I neglected to think upon the
I
fact
didn't
that...
really think this through.
I neglected to take into consideration that submarines had missiles.
In fact, why do we
Again,
even have to
it's
give them a prize?
And again, it's up to you if you think that if I'm going first person, it's just making this more difficult for myself. But it's still kind of fun.
Even still, you're making
With
utter
infinite-
mincemeat out of this
Yeah.
game.
You have infinite and very fast ammo, so I recommend the sub for a lot of the underwater areas.
Well, I mean, do you have to go into this area as the sub, or...
Yeah,
I
because
don't believe
the
so.
sub is what attacks these things.
Huh.
Well, I'm pretty sure you could. I thought you could at least. You could still shoot eggs without the sub.
I don't think you
I
can.
guess that could work.
And plus, to be fair, this also maneuvers faster underwater anyway.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, there you go.
Rats! You luckily scored enough points to win my prize. Here.
Look, had nothing to do with that. I just demolished that score.
Yeah, they just stood there menacingly.
Well, you can go suck a pickle.
Where did the jiggy go?
Where's the jiggy?
That...
Where did you go?
Oh, there's
there
the
it
jiggy.
is.
Where's
There
the
it
pickle?
Hey, I got 20 jiggies.
Do you want to play again?
No, I will not play it.
Yes.
Come back, son.
Oh, you said no.
Sweet.
Or
And
not.
then I teleported back here. Through the power of video editing, I came back here.
Oh.
Back to
What are we
old
doing
jollies.
here?
Because I'm going to go in here and I'm going to do something with this dude.
What you
I
got,
haven't spoken to
Rizzo
yet.
wrecked?
Go ahead, James.
You're still 20 doubloons for the kiki. Would you like to buy it?
I'm seriously sorry. I forgot exactly what voice I gave him. So.
I don't know either. It's been forever. But yeah, I'm just going to buy the jiggy.
Let's see some gold.
I thought we just gave him, like...
Ow! What the hell, sir?
You just threw a token at my head.
Well, whatever. Help yourselves.
Help yourself to some broken glass.
Ow!
Aw. I would have loved if that thing actually Oh,
Yes.
I would have loved that. I would love if the cash register just launched him into the wall.
Yeah.
Ow.
Hey, what's in here?
Dude, he's only the college intern. Why would you wish that on him?
Nothing.
I thought there'd be something cool in there.
We
Fine.
did already get this.
It must just be stop and
Yeah.
swap.
Possibly.
Let's go.
And now we're back in the Witchy World hub.
We're just jumping all
Because
over the place this part, aren't we?
Yeah, because again, I treat this like a Metroid. You have to treat this more like a Metroidvania game. Now that we have the Kazooie torpedo, I can break this boulder and get to more worlds. Again, as we've said in previous parts, I agree with James in that Banjo-Kazooie is the better, like, paced game with its theme and everything. In terms of a platformer, you know, Explorer Collectathon. I still think Banjo-Tooie plays better as a Metroidvania.
Honestly, for
I'll agree.
for my money, like, because, you know, not only watching this, but I also watched, like, a couple of reviews, namely Antude's review. First off,
Oh,
James,
God,
man,
Small
you're
World.
up.
Oh God, Small World. I played as when we first played as I
Oh.
was sick, and Clung was here. And I'm
Ugh.
sick. Here's Clung, and I'm still sick.
it looks a little worse for
Oh
wear.
well. Oh no, not you again. Mistress said Clungo must stop you, or I get more beatings.
Oh, he actually does look
We'll
a
give
little
you
worse
a
for wear.
beating too. No, Clungo in this time has new potion to try.
Dude, you have
Yeah, that's
two
right,
black
that's
eyes. Go home.
And that's his,
It's
that
not
is the
worth
sad
it.
part. Is every time we see him, he just gets more and more just demolished. And oh boy, this potion.
Uh-oh.
Now Clungo smash!
Smash
Squash,
D.
not
we'll just
smash.
poke him.
Oh.
I know what Klungo know what he said.
Well, that only worked like 2 seconds,
Yeah.
so...
Yeah.
Oh,
again,
there he
you
goes
just
again.
deal some damage to him.
Oop.
It's very useless. So, yeah, what were you saying there, Hype, about what we were talking about earlier with the
Okay,
review?
like, his review kind of goes into it a little bit more detail, but just based on that and what all I've seen of you guys, and just what I've seen in the game in general, the opinion I pretty much...
hey.
Oh, hang on.
He's dead.
Oh, okay.
Again.
Basically, the opinion I've come
dead.
to understand with this game is that...
Hold on, Hype.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
one more. It was a fake out.
Baron Bird beats poor Klungo again. It can't be good for your health, Klungo. Why not retire? No, Mistress needs me. Klungo return for more beatings, then work on new potion.
With the voice work that was happening here, it made it sound like Banjo was arguing with his evil, his evil self, like his head, like, no, we can trust them, cannot trust them. I don't know. Anyway, so your opinion of this game is...
Basically...
Oh boy.
Basically, just... I think I appreciate that...
I'm talking over him,
Okay.
don't worry, continue. We're just getting our last egg type.
Like,
Clockwork Kazooie.
Like, I appreciate that this game tries to be its own thing instead of just being like, you know, Banjo-Kazooie retread. Like, I appreciate all the things that it tries to do to make it stand on its own. That being said, a part of me does have to agree with James that I think, like, in the process of trying to, like, be its own thing, it did lose a lot of the charm that the first game had.
Yeah,
Here comes the truth or lie Jinjos, by the way.
Oh boy.
Ah, pick the right one.
Son of a bitch! It was the green one that was a fake.
You chose poorly.
No,
got
he chose wisely. He
I
went for
got
the
the
he went
right
for the
one.
right
But you
one.
rammed into him!
No,
Well,
I got...
to be fair, it was a
I
safety.
just
It
smashed
was a
him.
safety measure.
Oh, and here's a cute little thing I do like is if I do have enough jiggies to correctly like turn, you know, whatever. If I have enough jiggies to unlock a level, he'll actually give me the option to fast travel to his temple from one of these little pedestals.
Wait, really?
That's convenient.
Yep.
I
You
did
just
not
go
know
across
about
the
this.
Yep. And yeah, there we go. You can just come right back here.
Welcome back, Baron.
I never knew because usually I've never known this because usually when I play these games like just by myself, like I'll just go for everything, so I'll always have so much more than I ever planned to need.
Oh, thank goodness, my feet were killing me there.
Oh, man.
But yeah, that's fair. Also, yeah, so we got the clockwork eggs. For the sake of this run, they are supremely overpowered. Every time you fire one, you summon the final boss of Sly Cooper and the Various Raccoons. I thought it was a little overzealous.
Now I'm just
Pretty ambitious for
imagining-
them to include that as a power. but
Now I have this image of, like, you know, I know he's dead. Not that that's gonna last much longer.
yeah,
Man, I knew
have
that
this-
Rareware was pushing, the limits of video gaming technology in the year 2000. But this is kind of ridiculous.
Anyway, wow.
Hey, Sly, whatever did we do with all those metal clockwork eggs?
I don't know. You threw them down to sewer.
Anyway, just like now I'm just thinking of Bottles pretty much sounding and acting like Bentley.
That'd be great. And there we go. Away.
I'd forgotten to look at the light.
My least favorite level in the game. Actually, my second least favorite.
Yeah.
It's probably not the
Pterodactyl land.
best because it's super barren and empty.
Well, it's not
Except
even
for
that.
inside.
It's more like... Oh, God.
Oh, my teeth!
That dental work.
I'll be a good young
Also-
whippersnapper.
How dare
Also,
you?
I know I don't have enough. Also, I can say the clockwork eggs are also overpowered for a different reason. More on that later. But they allow me to do some pretty interesting things that can break this game in two. For instance,
We're
I'm
gonna
going
get to see them. Oh, I guess.
we're gonna show
now.
right now.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Use the
adorable.
control stick. Yeah, basically, they're not clockwork. It's just a little clockwork thing that lets me, it's super small so you can go into little holes like this one.
It's an exploding
serve
Woody
purpose.
Woodpecker.
And that's all I do is I blow them up.
Now someone.
But
So
the
yeah,
clockwork
as far
eggs
as I can tell, the clockwork eggs not only act as remote control bombs, but you can also collect shit with them.
Kazooie, I
and-
think. I think we blew it up too soon.
And-
The honeycomb, anti-honeycomb's still in there.
Oh, I made it.
Like, normally you're supposed to get that particular thing with the stony form. You could just get it with the Clockwork Kazooie.
Oh, I didn't know that.
What, you didn't know?
Yeah, I always use the Clockwork Egg. Anyway, I'm going up here now.
Learning done.
Because-
Boom.
Anyway, and what I'm doing here... Thank you. I forgot. Oh, I forgot about frickin'
Johnny T.
Puppet Dude, man. Johnny T.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's time for Unga Bunga.
Oh, that's actually.
Yeah, I'm going here.
Yeah, I'll let this guy be introduced first, and I'll say my thing.
Wow!
I did
Wow.
You gave 0 fucks about that.
What's the point of that again?
it. Yay, speedrun trick. You're supposed to tiptoe across that whole thing, but if you just jump on it and use the fire boost to launch yourself across, you're done.
We got it, Banjo.
Was it worth it?
His
I'll walk
toes
it
are just all
off.
burnt.
And then the caveman wakes up from smelling roasted bear ass.
But
My
yeah, that's
favorite.
pretty much the same case. That's pretty much the same case as the snake we dealt with earlier. If you could try to tread through all that tweed stuff or whatever, but if you run on it, the caveman will wake up, and that's considered a foul.
He'll just kick
Yeah,
you
he
out.
chases
He
you
won't
out.
hurt you, though.
And just like the snake thing, I know my way around that nonsense.
Oh yeah, who was this thing again?
Targets.
Oh.
It was
You
what's- it
found
was
Target
Target's-
says priceless relic thingy.
Yeah,
Is
it
this
was
hype
me.
or is this Icky?
Caveman store. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
it's
hype.
Why,
Sorry,
those
Icky.
thieving
Icky.
little... Oh, sorry.
This one's hype.
Sorry.
Careful, this is a family game.
Oh, yes, so it is. Why don't I just give you a chickie?
That makes sense to me.
I forgot what voice I gave him.
Yay!
Nay.
It's okay. It's been ages.
It
Oh,
made more.
uh-oh.
What?
Aye! Devil God, me in much trouble, big beatings.
What is it with this
Off
game
you
and
run.
beatings anyway?
I don't know. Cartoon violence.
Oh.
That's fair.
It's not suitable for children.
I love how the lighting just shifts a bit on him. Right there, he turns blue for like a split second.
Oh yeah, right as he's leaving.
And
we had a
well,
little
now that Fatso's got his treasure, let's get out of here.
What's his
Yeah.
name, Fatso?
So no, he was just an Unga Bunga. So, with that said, join us in the next part where, yeah, like I said, you're going to start seeing how these Clockwork Eggs can really start breaking stuff. And I think, true to form with the whole Metroidvania thing, I think we've reached a point where we can start going back to some of those levels we kind of breezed past.
Oh, goody.
Till next time,
Join
guys.
us then.